Okay, we're recording. Hi, Bonnie. Okay, so
Hey,
I've
Christy.
hit record. And the reason I was going to kind of now explain what we're doing on the recording is I watched a recording of myself training Courtney yesterday. And I was wondering if that might help you. And when I looked at the recording, we just blazed right on. And to me, it was hard to follow. So I am saying now what we're doing ahead of time so it can follow. And you can go back and look at the recording. So great. Well, welcome, Bonnie. Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Okay, so why don't I share my screen, and I'll try to make things bigger. You know, they're big to me, and then it's like, wait, I can't see that. So here was kind of our agenda. We're gonna talk about the certification process document, which is something you will kind of have to put together.
Okay.
Of course, what you do with private certs and the part that I'm going to teach you will be very similar to mine. So I did send you my document earlier this morning. I don't know if you saw that.
I did.
Okay, because you certainly can take that and feel free to pilfer a copy, do whatever you want. That's what it's there for.
Thank you.
But again, you're going to have a lot of additional things that I don't do because you and Debbie are going to be working very much in tandem, and you're very much going to be a part of that process in the beginning, which I try not to be too much involved with because I just have too much other things to do. So, but I think it's a great place for you to start and copy it and look at it. And I actually have it open. So we'll go over this process document. So something I wanted to ask you, and that was the reason I brought up the agenda, is we have the certification process document, the Outlook email files, and that I had touched on that briefly before I started recording that. You know, how you set your files up, so how you label them, and when you put things in those files. I just wanted to give you some tips on what works for me, because you start to get so much information and you try to search for a keyword and sometimes it doesn't come up, and you need these files. So I thought I'll give you those tips.
Okay, excellent.
And then, of course, constant contact overview. You have met with Corey, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, she sent me all the constant contact meetings that she's done. She sent me the videos, so I watched those.
Okay. So what I was thinking is I kind of was thinking maybe we should change it up just a little bit today, because I have to create a couple of events on constant contact. So I was thinking maybe we would start with 3, because honestly, that might take us 45 minutes to do, which is what we have left. So I was thinking we would start with that. In your assessment of yourself, what kind of learner are you? How do you like to learn?
I'm a hands-on type of learner, mostly. I have to kind of get in there and do it, but I'm a visual learner as well. So.
Okay. So one of the things I had done with Courtney is I have stuff written down so you can actually follow it and see it, make your own notes. Mm-hmm. But then I also like to do it with you. I'm a very visual, hands-on learner myself, and I really found training Courtney was very easy. But then again, we understand we're going to work with people that learn all different ways, right. And you have to be open. I've never really thought about it. I'm thinking, well, why can't they get it? And it's like, okay, now I get it. But would that be all right with you if we kind of just jumped to 3 and started and
Sure.
did some constant contact? Okay.
Whatever you want.
So on my process document, just so you know, I've really not created a format for this. So I am going to be taking notes. So I can write this up, but I certainly encourage you to take notes as well. And we can, once I type mine up, if you see something I've left out or something, I absolutely welcome your input on, oh wait, now Christy, when we created that Constant Contact, I don't see this in your notes. So
Sure.
Does that sound good? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So let's see. So now I'm just going to just minimize these.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm going to just, let's minimize this one too. Okay, I don't need this one. That we're doing. I was probably writing an email and forgot and moved on to something else. Okay. So Constant Contact. Can you see that all right?
I can.
Okay. We've got a dog in here who's like just snored or something, whined. I'm taking care of my neighbor's dog.
Someone else's dog snores. I don't remember who that is. Is it
It's Cheryl Kiner.
Cheryl? Yeah.
Is that the funniest? One day I think I emailed Tracy going, what is that noise? And she said, it's Cheryl's dog. We were on a call yesterday and it did it. Okay, so first thing, go ahead and log in to your Constant Contact. Do you have a login? Are you sharing with someone?
I don't have a login, and Corey is supposed to create me or help me to share with someone, but she hasn't decided who that is, so I have to maybe follow up with her on that.
Absolutely follow up with her, because I think one of the main things is when I'm showing you this, next week for you to look at it again as you're on Constant Contact. I certainly encourage you to do that. I remember with Courtney really was able to go back and look at our, you can go in here and look at anything, anybody's thing. With that, you have to remember, you can go in here and change and update and delete anybody's file. So you have to be extremely careful.
I didn't want to do that.
Because it's instant time. So I'm very cautious whenever I'm on Constant Contact. So you'll log in like you just saw the login, and then when you get to the main screen, you're going to go ahead and click on campaigns. Mm-hmm. We pretty much don't create anything from scratch. There's so many things you can copy and revise. That's the way to go. Okay, so once I get to campaigns, I'm going to go ahead and do my drop-down menu for folders. And we'll go to certifications. So certifications is a folder that I created, and I told Courtney to create one. So now here's Courtney as international. So I would say, let's create you a folder that says private certification.
Okay.
And if you want to discuss this with Debbie on, I know, we used to do private and semi-private, and we quit doing semi-private. But I'm almost certain you're only going to do private, but you're also going to do community training. But I think I don't think you would ever set up an event or anything for that. You might be, so I don't quite understand that. So if you need, if what I teach you today, if you need something additional because y'all are doing something else, just let me know.
Sure. Thank you.
So I've not created a folder. Would you like me to create a private certifications folder right now?
Sure, if you don't mind, that'd be great. So you just click on the plus at the top, right? Okay.
Yeah, I believe, you're just going to do the plus on the top. And I think because we're not in, so we'll just do private search because, well, I think it'll, if not, we can always change it. So that sounds good. And I just clicked off of it. Okay.
Awesome.
So now it's under online journal. I wonder why that is. Let me do this.
I think it's just under there because it's alphabetical. I don't think it's actually under online journal because if
you're right.
The arrow.
You're right. You're right. The arrow just means there's more files.
There's more files.
So you will go in here. You're correct. See, you're helping me. And then you'll add. So now you've got a little file and you've got an arrow. And I won't name, oh, it disappeared. So when you're ready to add, then you can, you're right, it's pretty easy. So although I have an arrow, I still have 0. I don't know why. I mean, I do know why, I'm sorry. Because I don't have anything in this main folder. So within the main folder, then I have all of these other folders. So that's why it shows up at 0. And, people have gone, it's 0, there's nothing there. Well, just make sure you're clicking on the drop down and not the main file.
And you just click that arrow under certifications to add in those years? The arrow on the right.
I think if I were to click here, it's going to say you don't have any campaigns. Oh my gosh, what happened to everything? That's why you have to click on the drop down arrow.
But the drop down arrow on the other side, that's where you add in all the years?
Yep. So with me, just click here and click add.
Okay, that's easy.
So it'll add another folder and name it whatever you want. Mm-hmm. And then you'll notice, so now within 2018, 0, because I don't have anything in that main folder, but when you click on 2018, everything else opens up.
Got it.
Again, you'll notice 2015 was let's throw everything together. And then 2016, I started to get a little smarter. In 2016, I actually had certifications, completed certifications, and then admin actually came later. So then I had 2 folders. So as soon as the certification was complete, I moved it to my completed folder. So that's why, and I deleted the ongoing folder. But then again, now I've got 38 in this folder. So it's like, okay, that's not going to work either. So then in 2017, I came up with let's do first, second, third, fourth quarters. And when it's complete, I just leave it in there. So, so they're all in there and they're all complete. And I figured that was the best, just to narrow it by quarter. So you might want to do it a different way. Maybe you do yours, I don't know. So this is just my creation. And so however you would like to do it, I think that would be fine.
Yeah, I like the year and the quarter. I think that's brilliant. So
that works. It works for me. I mean, I must admit, going to first quarter, and then it was, whenever you change this, it changes the look for everybody. So that's why it's never what you want it to be on. So I like it to be on old to new, because then it puts them in order. See how now it's in date order?
Mm-hmm.
So, but somebody else, the next time someone else gets on Constant Contact, they'll change it and it changes. So, so when I finally figured out I could do old to new, then I could go to the first quarter and flip to whatever I needed right away. Mm-hmm. You're welcome to look at any of these and go as deep as you want once I show you everything. So I think it's great. Okay, so what we're going to do today is I need to create I sent you this color-coded, I have it labeled Public U.S. Certification, or I think it's just labeled Certification Workshops 2018. Did I send you a copy of this to look at?
I don't think so.
Okay. What I do is I take all the workshops and I put it on one sheet because I use it. And I mean, I was telling someone yesterday, I practically hold this in my hand as I work. I use it that much. And I just do it so I don't have to flip to Insightly to look at something on Insightly. I want it right at my fingertips all the time. When you guys get rolling and you might have a private cert every month, you're going to want the same thing. You can't be going to Insightly and, you need that information at your fingertips. So we'll certainly get to this another time. But anyway, I've got on here, let's see, we added, so this was the newest one we just did was, I added this Chelsea and I added Cincinnati.
Okay.
Now we've added another one. Oh, you know what? I still haven't added your, the Shenandoah, the one in Virginia, the private one. You know what? I'm going to enter mine, and then I'm going to let you do the private certification in June. I forgot about that one. I forgot I'm supposed to do that one. Let's see, did I do that? I'm sorry. I can't remember anything. I haven't done it. Okay. Well, I think that's great, Bonnie, because I'm going to show you this. I'll send you the video, and then you'll be able to, follow up with Corey.
Yes.
Once you get your shared login the next Monday, maybe, or even later today, if you can do a shared login, you can add Virginia.
That would be great. That would be very helpful.
You know what? And I'm going to show you at the one point that it has to be correct because you can't go back and change it. So you're stuck with whatever you do. But everything else can be manipulated. So if you were to make a mistake or anything, which happens, or if we change it, we can update it. Okay, so right now, let's go ahead and we're going to enter a PAC trainer certification that we've added for Seattle, Washington on July 30th and 31st. So July, of course, is the third quarter, right? January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, So let's
thing in my head, don't worry.
I try never to count on my fingers because I have a 15-year-old daughter, and I don't want her to go January, February, March. It's like in your head, and I'm doing it off to the side. Okay, so it's definitely, I haven't done it yet. Just to make sure. So what I've done, and I definitely, you and I can do this, but this is something that you can do.
Okay.
I've created blank cert forms. Let's see, I'm going to check to see if Courtney did that or if she's just copying mine. She might just be, copying mine. I don't know. You're welcome to copy these, but I'm just thinking, big picture in 5 years when, we might be, doing a lot. I just think if somebody training and helping with someone, if you go, here's private certifications, here's everything that we do, if you had your own forms. And all you do is copy these and then save them however you want. So these are the blank forms. And lo and behold, we just did this for 2018. Before we were just copying them from other events. But now we have a very generic, very blank form. And you're welcome to copy this. Now, we'll talk about the form for Shenandoah later, because you're actually going to create 2 events for them.
Trainer and coach?
Trainer and coach. Although it's a combo, they're still doing trainer and coach. They just happen to have that luxury of being able to practice with someone from another certification. So it's a good thing. So this one that we're doing for Seattle is a trainer. How am I doing so far? I know I never ask questions or slow down. Everything okay? Do you have questions?
Yeah, okay, I think you're doing great.
Okay, good. So I'm going to go over here. Let's see. I'm sorry, I'm writing it down. Okay. I might have to write this down later because it's going to take time. Okay, so watch the old video. Do it. It's a great idea.
It'd be like 68 views. Who viewed it that many times?
And Christy was 67. Okay, so we'll do the drop-down menu, and it'll say copy. How easy is that?
Yeah. Oh, let me. Hold on.
I'm just going to click on copy, and it's automatically going to take us to the first screen. Okay. It's this screen, Bonnie, that once you do it, you can't change it. So if you know, so make sure you know exactly what we want to name the Shenandoah. Make sure this is the only part in any part of creating an event that you cannot change once you do it. The only way to change it is to, you know, copy the event and delete the other one, which, geez, that's a great idea. I might have to do that next time. Because we had an event that changed in December from engagement to trainer, but on everybody's individual file that registered for this trainer event, it all says engagement. It's like, so, okay, so the event I'm creating, oh shoot, I kind of forgot something. Let me see what happens if I hit back. It might throw me out and go. I forgot an important thing. Again, since I don't have this written down. So this is hugely important, and this is a great lesson for you. And when we get these written down, you want to see how they look. And I'm never sure, is there a period? Is there a space? Remember how insightly, you know, we've gone over. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to be, it's going to be the name. So I usually just write down the name of the event that I'm going to do. So I'm going to do JUL for July. And then there's a space 30-31, 2018, : and then PAC trainer, trainer certification. And is there any rhyme or reason why we do it this way? No. So honestly, if you guys would like to change something or do something differently, maybe we do it all the same in 2018 and you have some good thoughts to do for 2019. I'm all ears. Okay, so I've got it written down. So now let's go back and copy. Okay, so my event date, July 30, 31, 2018, TAC trainer. Okay, look good?
It does. He thinks it looks good too.
Yeah. So I'm gonna hit copy event. I'm so sorry, Bonnie. Someone's at my door. Hold on one second. Okay, sorry. My dog doesn't bark, and I'm taking care of a dog that barks. Okay, so here we are now at the title. Of course, everything with the red star has to be filled in.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to copy because this is what we did. Never change this. It should be what it already is. And since I copied a blank trainer form, this is for the trainer.
Okay.
Now, I'm actually taking on kind of the new position of the admin that works with Amanda. This will be something I'll verify with Amanda later on in the year to make sure this is still how we want to word it.
Okay.
Those are one of the things, that I'll be doing. We kind of just, now it's like, oh, hey, maybe we should change that. So it's good that we'll have a little bit of continuity and follow up. Okay, so you do, what's your start date of your event? Very simple, user-friendly. And what's your end date? 2 days. The very first day, and with private, it could change. So you just need to verify.
Okay.
On that call with Danielle the other day, that's the reason I asked that, because we had a private, I think it maybe at United Methodist Retirement Community, whereas the people work till 4:30. That's when they get off. So it was like, oh, well, we can't have this till 5. We need to at least tell them it's over at 4:30, and then if it went over, then it just goes over. But so the start time on the first day is 8:30. For public certs, the start time is 8:30 the first day, 8 o'clock the second day.
Okay.
But if you'll remember, Leslie said, let's just make it the same all 3 days. So that's what we did. And the end date, just to make it easy, is 5 o'clock. Do they get out earlier? Probably. The time zones, I always keep it Eastern time zone.
Okay.
Even if it's in Washington. So if we're in Washington, but it switches to their time. So
the 8:30 said PM.
Oh, it did. Good. Thank you.
I think so.
Yeah. So 8:30 a.m., PM. Don't change that. We go to so a lot of it you don't change.
Okay.
Location, venue. We don't have one just yet. So I leave it as to be determined. but I know it's in Seattle.
Okay.
So, of course, this is something that we can change. God bless that dog. Can you hear him out there barking?
No.
He's barking like crazy. Okay, Billy, come here.
Recording.
Okay, Bonnie, I'm sorry. Okay. I don't have a zip code. I just know it's Seattle. So the name here, this will be whatever your title is. There is an email address that is, I believe it's events, and I'll double check that with Corey. So as it's set up now, registration at Teepa Snow is public U.S. event. And I just assumed since I was first that I get to keep it. So you'll notice there's some other names, like Tracy has her own, Lisa has her own, Kelly. I don't know why you can't have your own email address, just to your email address. That would be a Corey question.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, I will actually, if you want to ask Corey that question.
She mentioned the events when we talked.
Okay, good. So I put my phone number because if you put the 800 number, then most likely it'll go to Mary Lee because we don't have an 800 extension. So I put my own number. I mean, people do call me, but it's not like this flood of calls or anything.
Sure.
So then, of course, I don't change any of this. Make sure you change whatever, because we know when you do Shenandoah, it's going to be 6 coaches, 3 trainers. And that's how we'll set it up. So if someone registers and they think they did a mistake and they register a second time, well, that's going to push someone out. So, and they do that. So we'll, you're on top of it, And you definitely want them to sign up for the monthly online dementia journal. So allow registrants, that's all checked. And what it is the CAPTCHA is the one where it says, click this if you're not a robot. And send me an email whenever someone registers for this event. So that means whenever someone registers, you get the email. So, of course, for this one, registration at Teepa Snow is me. So I'm going to hit continue. Advanced options, I'll just show you advanced options. These are kind of keywords that people might Google or look up. So that's kind of, we want them, if they Google this, we're somewhere on that list.
Sure.
It's a PAC trainer. And these are just, Corey did, actually, it was one of our meetings that Corey did this Google Analytics and showed us where this information was found. And it was very interesting, but I don't have a need to look for it. But that's what this information is for. But it stays the same. So that's why we did the trainer, coach, consultant, different event pages. So now you don't have to change this each time. Before we were changing it. So I'm just going to hit continue. And it's just straight of the mill things. Can registrants bring other people? Well, no. It's US dollars they spend. Yes, there's a fee to come, and this is where you put what the fee is. So we know the fee for public trainer events in 2018 is $1,600. We reduced the price from $1,800 because TIFA is no longer at the trainer events. I believe I don't know what it is for Virginia. Do you remember? I think it's 18.
I don't remember.
Okay, well, this does kind of change. No, I'm not offering anything. Yes, I have discount codes. Now, these are discount codes. Nobody sees these but you. Always add them. Even like with Shenandoah, they're not going to need to use a code. So on this, no, there's no charge. They're not going to have a charge when you set yours up.
Got it.
Because we're going to send one invoice. So that's and when you click no, there's not a charge, it all disappears. So it just now is no, there's no charge. So, so those, you'll just have, and I go through each question every time I set an event up. This is just like the event we did last month. No, I still go through every line item just to make sure. No, I'm not. So the discount codes, if you say, no, I'm not offering discount codes, they disappear. And then if you come back and go, oh, yes, I'm offering discount codes, you have to add them all in again.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
Just always have them on there. Nobody sees them. I don't even think if you have, like for Shenandoah, it's going to say, no, there's no charge. I don't even think there's a spot then to add a promo code, which this is what these are. They're promo codes. Why does it say discount code on this sheet, but on the registration it says promo code? Should be the same name, but that's just the way that's not us. So if you ever need to add a code, then you add it here. So I need to add a couple of codes.
Okay.
We have, actually, Debbie is going to this event in Salt Lake City. And anybody who goes to that event, we're giving them a 10% discount. So here's the code. It's on the entire dollar amount, and it's 10%.
And what is the limit uses to?
I'm not going to set a limit because if it's 10 people, I have no clue who's going to register. Now, I will say the last time we gave a code for a 10% discount when they attended a road show or a trade show, I should say, we didn't get anybody. But that was our first one. Mm-hmm. And now here's another. So I think we're going to start building momentum because a lot of the same people go to these different shows. So, you just have to build momentum. So I'm going to keep it at unlimited. You can put any number here. Okay. When you look at my codes, you will see a lot of them do have limits. Mm-hmm. And so that also, if you're ever using a code and someone goes, wait, I'm a partner. What if there's two partners that we're going to give a reduced fee to? You'll just have to remember that. You can go in there and edit it. Mm-hmm. Now make it 2.
Got it.
So it's very user friendly, and it's also very easy to change and delete, and then you're like, you have to recreate. So I just think before you, honestly, I almost clicked no to show you, and then they would disappear, but I'm pretty sure they don't come back. You have to re-enter.
Don't do it.
Yes, I caught myself. Okay, so
when I do my own and I don't need them, I'll let you know what happens. It won't affect me.
It won't affect you, but I have said no for a private event, and we turned around and needed them.
Okay.
So be careful. It's no harm, no foul to leave them, Bonnie. So nobody would see them. Nobody knows. Okay, so how do you want to collect? So I don't. It's kind of funny. Why isn't credit card or PayPal selected? That's funny. So it's PayPal. Oh, that's it. Okay. Ooh, that's funny. I can't believe that's not checked. So it's always PayPal, and this is the code, chaircode@teepasnow.com. And that should be there. I'm not sure why it wasn't. But if you click PayPal, the code should come up. We just changed it last year. So it's a good thing, and I'll make sure to have it in the write-up. You cool with that?
Yeah, I was just looking at some notes from what Corey said.
Uh-huh. Yeah, this is Corey. Yes. And trust me, whenever Corey tells you something, 99.9999%, it's absolutely right. Like I'll say, well, yes, she knows what she's doing on this. This is more a technical,
yes, she's really good,
constant contact thing versus just creating an event thing. Can people make a donation? No.
Yeah,
okay, so I'm going to go ahead. What?
She told us about the care store at teepasnow.com. I just wanted to make sure I had it in my notes so I remember, because she said sometimes change it, like someone might put something else in there or something else might be.
She just changed it last year, and I asked her several times when I created events to make sure I had it correct, because it was very similar to what it was, but now it's different. And this is PayPal. When someone pays with PayPal, I believe it sends a notification, and that's the email it goes to.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I had that in my notes so I would remember to look for it.
And I will put it in our notes, in the process document as well.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll do finish. Okay, so now we're almost there.
Okay.
So here's my event. It's a draft. And I'm just going to click on the first button here. So event basics. So let's just go ahead and click edit. Let's see if I can edit anything to show you what the screen looks like. Okay. Here's the event, so it's just what we just did.
Mm-hmm.
What we just did. So, and here it is right here. So it starts here, 8:30, ends here. If your times change where you do 8:30 day 1, 8 o'clock day 2, will people call and ask you? Sometimes they'll go, oh, it says it starts at 8:30, but you're telling me 8. I don't know where they're seeing that after registration, because after they register, everything they see has it by day. Monday, we start at 8:30 to 5. Tuesday, 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. to 5. So I don't know where they see it unless they write it down. But, here's the contact information. I put the 1 there. I guess I could probably take it off because I was dealing with a lot of Canadians. But I could probably take it off. But you know what? Why not just have it all there? So I'm done with this one. So the next one is settings, or you can just say continue to settings. Again, PayPal, They can't bring a guest. Here's their fee. Here's my codes. No donation. Continue to registration. Edit. We're just going to continue to registration. When you get to registration, I'm just going to go through everything. It never hurts. Does it take an extra 5 or 10 minutes? Yes. But it just doesn't hurt. This is our new revised logo. Here's the date and time. It automatically does a map. It's just saying Seattle because we don't have the date, but when you have an actual address, it will pinpoint that address. People can click on driving instructions, and I think it goes to, let's see where it goes to.
Google.
So it goes to Google. No! Hush! No! Sorry. Okay. Here's my information. If you see something wrong here, there's a couple of days. So now this is what they are seeing, the registrant, when they click on register. So I've got everything here. Here's what they're registering for. And here's everything. Can you change this stuff? Absolutely. We have found that these are the best things, but if, let's say there's specific things for an event you need, yes, you can change, add, whatever.
Okay.
I will say this, the personal, let me jump back. So as far as changing, I'll show you how to do some of these things. But for example, education titles are different in Canada and Europe. So I encouraged Courtney to put the Canadian and UK titles. It's not called high school. I think it's secondary school. It does drive me crazy that it's high school, one word. That's Beth. I need to change that. I might go back and change, because to me in high school, 2 words with them both capitalized, yeah, drives me crazy. So, if you guys are doing something in Canada, you might want to think about that. Also, your primary job responsibility for a private certification, this might be at a, let's say it is a large assisted care facility, and there's a memory care department, there's acute care. This would be a question to ask the host. What are the job, what would you like us to list? Who's going to be attending? It might all be CNAs that are attending. You might even want to take it off, or I would say don't take it off, in that what if you got all CNAs, but that one administrator decides to come at the last minute? Well, now you've got an administrator and they didn't have anything to click. So, just think about your questions. And I will certainly work with you and Debbie when y'all just, like with Shenandoah, these might be some good questions to, maybe the 3 of us should work together, do a Zoom call and have you set this up. But maybe this is, maybe these are some of the questions you might want to ask Debbie beforehand. What business type? You might not want that at all in private certifications. So some of the, how did you hear about this training? Well, I was told to go to this stupid training. So you think about it, like we talked about those coaches for Shenandoah. Well, I was hurt. I heard from my boss. So like this is, you're not going to click this box. So now I have learned, even if we're serving food, even if we're not, they're on their own, I still have them tell me their food allergies. Because if they're desperately allergic to nuts and we have nuts on the table, you know, we want to, hey, you know, tell the host, make sure the host knows that, you know, let's not have nuts for a snack. We've got, you know, someone who's, so I always keep it there, whether we're serving lunch, they're on their own, whatever reason, I keep it. But some of these others you probably don't want to keep.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So going back, so now, if you want to, let's say now, okay, we don't want some of these things. How did you hear about this? This is where you change it when you go to edit. So the first is their personal information. The order of these information matches the master spreadsheet exactly. So you cannot put cell phone, you cannot put country above cell phone. You can't change these around.
Okay.
The questions, yes, the questions do not go over to the master. If you want to see, so I could, let's see, how do I click on that? Oh, it's right here. So if you, so here are your questions. So let's say you want to change, what is your highest level of education? Let's go ahead and change this one right here, even though I'll change my master document. So you can see there, there's places for them to write. You can add, you know, there's lots of things you can do. Very user friendly. These mean they have to be on there. If I don't want visible required, please describe, what was this one? Please describe your, okay, so you might want that. So, but if you didn't want it, you would just, you know, unclick the visible and it disappears.
Okay.
You might want it visible, but you don't want it to be required with the red check, the red star.
Mm-hmm.
So you can click here and go to the next one, but just as a safety precaution, I always hit save. If I do not make any changes, I'll just go ahead and click to the next one. And if you're just looking at something, just for safety's sake, hit cancel. Because I don't want to save or finish. I'm just going to hit cancel because I didn't mean to do anything. And if I did, I just want to cancel it. I keep it the way it was. So business information, so you can go through each one of them and decide what you want. I don't make it required to tell me all their company information because some people are self-employed. And so I just don't require them. They leave it blank. Some people, if you'll notice here, address, I make it required, but they might write NA because they don't want to give me their personal address. Now, why do we ask for personal stuff first and then business? Because people leave their jobs and they'll probably give us their work email, and I have a way to reach out to them to see if they're really interested. We've definitely got, I mean, I used to spend several hours a day calling people and, you know, trying to find their information, because if they were certified and they've left their company, I want to remind them that that certification goes with them. We want to keep them coming back. So that's why I ask personal. But people, a lot of times, they'll even put their work information here and then leave their business blank. That's okay. It's not a, you know, a requirement. I mean, if they leave and they want to continue, they'll contact us. And if they don't, then we've lost them. I mean, we certainly try. So, of course, the business information can change anything, badge information, nothing. So this is, you know, I guess maybe we can print badges, you know, because you think a lot of maybe can print name tags with the badge. This might be an interesting thing of why don't we do this? I don't know why. You know, maybe I'll ask Lisa, because Lisa Blackburn prints out the labels. I'm sorry. She prints out a sign-in sheet, and then the people, there's a label printed with their name, and we give them. So I'm wondering why Lisa can't do this. That'd be interesting. I'll ask her. How are we doing on time, by the way? Oh, shoot, we're past time. Okay, we're almost done here. Let's see. So again, here's these questions. Custom in any way you want. I know they're the way I want them. I also know I didn't change anything since I hit save the last time, so I'm just going to hit finish. I'm sorry, I didn't realize we were over time. Okay. Edit messages. This is going to be a generic response. You have successfully registered for the PAC trainer certification. I'm actually going to go ahead and go in Seattle, Washington, just because we know this is in Seattle. Nothing else needs to, it's pretty standard. No save button, it automatically. So I'll hit finish. The event landing page is the event. This is when they click on more, read more information on TeepaSnow.com. This is what comes up. Very detailed about what they're going to be learning, what your money includes, register now. Oh, I need to change that. I'll get back and do that.
So I don't need to change that at all?
Well, no.
But it has the wrong date on it.
Oh, it did? Oh, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry. I was trying to hurry now. Let me, so I clicked on edit because we need to make those changes. There's this Q here. I thought we got that out of there. Okay, so PAC trainer, and you click on it, and then it highlights and lets you do it. I know this is
Seattle.
And I just removed the zip because I don't know the zip. This is the correct logo. It should be correct. And this is what they see after registration, is these days with the times.
Got it.
But again, people will still say, but you said it started. That's okay. Just tell them where. I'm just going to go. Oh, wait, let me do. This is me. So over here, nothing needs to be changed, but if you think your times are different than what your blank template form is, and also remember your amount could change.
Yes.
Because private could be different from one event to the other. So you'll just have to, pretty much all of the information that they do during a trainer combo, even a trainer event, they're going to do the same thing, whether it's public, international, private. There may be a little things that are tweaked for a private or international, depending on what specifically with that group. But chances are it's really not going to be within this information. So as far as you will review and practice care partnering techniques with a pet mentor, they're pretty much, even if we think about Shenandoah, that is what they're going to do that first day. But their second day, yeah, they're still going to do this too. But now they're going to have a day 3 for Shenandoah. So what is your day 3 going to look like? So, we might have, maybe the 3 of us should have a Zoom call with Debbie to say, okay, well, we know this is changing. Also, I know the hours here are different. I believe it said only like 5.5 hours each day. So it was a little different. That's why I asked about the times, but I decided not to bring it up. But, this is a normal public, so we'll need to figure out. So you're right. I think maybe the 3 of us should go through some of this for Shenandoah.
Maybe Leslie too.
Well, we'll ask Leslie. I don't know if Leslie will want to be involved getting down. I was thinking Debbie and Leslie then could do it if they wanted, or maybe the 3 of you. You're right. You guys decide how you'd like to go. I could certainly be on and help if you want, but you know what? You may have it, Bonnie. If you feel, if y'all want to go through it line by line, y'all might not need me. And I think it's totally whatever you guys feel comfortable with. But I'm glad we brought that up. Oh, hold on one second. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so, like here's participants. So I think that's probably a good idea. Like here's continuing education stuff. Is that something that's going to be offered to Shenandoah? I don't know. Probably my thoughts would be no, but, that is something to ask if that's something we're going to do. So I think we should do this line by line. So for this training purposes, we're done here. And I'm going to hit save. I'm going to go ahead and hit finish, even though I am going to preview it just one more time. So preview. So we've got the date, I've got Seattle, I've got the times are correct by day. I know mine is 1600. I took that Q out. So I know this is good for me. Now, at this point, I'm done. Everything's saved. I do not make the event live until somebody else has looked at it.
And that someone else is?
It could be anybody. I usually had Beth do it just because Beth has an eagle eye. But, you know, it needs to be someone who's PAC knowledgeable. So for you, it might be me. Just because I'm more knowledgeable than Debbie, although Debbie certainly has it down, but it's just some of those little things. So, you know, maybe until you get it, it might be me until you and Debbie feel confident going back and forth, her looking at it and saying, yep, that's what I know, because she knows all the information about that event just as much as you do, because she was involved in doing it together. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So everything is saved. I literally you can click off of it. So if I were to go back to campaigns, it's going to show up oh yeah. When you don't do it all the time. Actually, it's not going to show up because it doesn't know where to go. So right now it's in unfiled. So you have to go back and find what you just did. And and this is where I'm going to change it to new to old. Because so here it is. So I'll click it. And it says move to folder. So I'm going to then move it to the correct folder. Yeah, I guess that's a big one. Yeah, that took me a little while to figure that out. What happened to all those events I just did? Okay, so third quarter, I am 2018. So third quarter, and there it goes. So now it's no longer in file. Let's see if any of these are mine. No. You're supposed to move all of your events. Anything you do, you're supposed to move them out of unfiled and put them into your own folders. I'm so sorry I've kept you this long.
It's okay, I'm learning good things.
Yeah. So now when I go to third quarter, it's actually my first, well, now I'm back to new. I'm going to go ahead and put it back to old to new just so it's in order. And it disappeared. That's never good. Why? Oh, maybe because it's a draft. So that's what I wanted to show you. It's a draft. So that means it's just not active yet. So I want someone just to look at it and let me know that it's correct.
Okay.
Then the next step is, and actually let's go ahead, I'm going to stop share because we'll go ahead and end this, and thank you for following me on. Do you have any specific questions about it now, or would you like to kind of go back through the video, look at Constant Contact, and then formulate something? What would work best?
It would be best for me if I could have Corey get me a login, and I could go in and try to do Shenandoah, not try, but do Shenandoah, and be hands-on. And then I would know, because I have a lot of information and I usually take really good notes, so I can refer back to those until I get comfortable. But I learned quite a few things from you, so that's
okay.
Me.
Okay.
So it would be best for me.
Okay. So I think that would be great. And like I say, it's just that one first line that you cannot change. And even though it's not live, I thought you could change it when it was still a draft. No, once you do that first line, you can never change it. But we pretty much know the dates are set for Shenandoah. So you could go ahead once you get that login and build it the best you can. Mm-hmm. And then we could maybe then have the three of us get together, or even four if you want Leslie to do it as well, since this is kind of a newer one. I've never done a 3-day. And I don't know if Leslie has, but that'd be great. What is that wording we want to put there?
Yeah, I can ask Debbie. I can send Debbie an email about that and ask her what she wants to do. That would be good.
So now, let me share my screen one more time and just show you. I think let's do it here. So when you go to Teeth the Snow, and this is where you'll put Shenandoah, even though it's private. Oh, actually, we probably won't put Shenandoah on here. I'm not even going to do this part. Let me just show you what I do. I don't think it's going to pertain to you, but I'm going to go to trainer certifications. And when I scroll down, it has all the trainer certifications, but it doesn't have Seattle. So that's a whole other process that we do with Corey. And then Corey, when you click here,
it takes you to that landing page.
It takes you to that landing page. So we need to, but that's a whole nother thing. And I wanted to double check here on something, and then we'll end. Who wants to watch a 2-hour? Let's see. Oh, I guess we haven't done it yet, so it's not there. I'll have to work on this. I was thinking there was one more thing I wanted to show you, but I don't know where it is, so I'm going to have to figure it out because it's not there. So, okay, I think that sounds, I mean, that's creating an event in a nutshell. Again, it's a little different with private, so we'll cross those bridges and make those corrections. I'm sure Leslie knows something, Debbie knows, somebody knows the things that you don't know to get Shenandoah ready and up. So I think that's great. Anything else? How do you think? You think that you got enough, like you say, you got enough information and you just got to go forward now? Okay.
I have enough information, and I have your email, your phone number, and you live in the same city, so I could drive over if I need you badly. So I feel good.
Okay, well, I think that's really about it. So why don't we set up another time? I'll do something else, and we'll do the other two things on the agenda. But I think this one was important. So definitely move forward with your to-do list with Corey and building the site. And then just let me know if you want me involved. And I just want you to know what I'm going to do right now. I might not get it done, but I'm going to work on those emails to send to Danielle for her to send to the learners.
Good.
So I started to work on it before, and I just haven't finished it. So let me just work on that, and then I'm going to send those to her, and I'll make sure I'll copy you. Is it going to be this difficult every time? Probably no, but these might be good email. What I say might be a good template for you to keep.
Absolutely.
If you I don't know, are they all going to be 3 days from here on out? Is it some, I don't know, but you guys will figure that out. At least you'll have the info and tools to move forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. You can call me. You know where to get me. You want some blood or anything, make sure you can find me. Okay, well, that's it. Absolutely, Bonnie. I will certainly speak